Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Surah Kahaf, ayat number 26. وَاتْلُ مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ كِتَابِ رَبِّكَ لَا مُبَدِّلَ لِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَلَن تَجِدَ مِن دُونِهِ مُلْتَحَدًا. And recite what has been revealed to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of the book, the Quran of your Lord, that is recited, understand and follow its teachings and act on its orders and preach it to the men. None can change his words, and none will you find as a refuge other than him. واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا. And keep yourself, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, patiently with those who call on their Lord, that is your companions, who remember their Lord with glorification, praising in prayers and other righteous deeds, morning and afternoon, seeking his face, and let not your eyes overlook them, desiring the pomp and glitter of the life of the world. And obey not him whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, and who follows his own lusts and whose affair deeds has been lost. وَقُلِ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ نَارًا أَحَاطَ بِهِمْ سُرَادِقُهَا وَإِنْ يَسْتَغِيثُوا يُغَاثُوا بِمَاءٍ كَالْمُهْلِ يَشْفِي الْوُجُوهَ بِئْسَ الشَّرَابُ وَسَاءَتْ مُرْتَفَقًا. And say, the truth is from your Lord, then whosoever wills, let him believe, and whosoever wills, let him disbelieve. Verily we have prepared for the Zalimun a fire whose walls will be surrounding them, disbelievers in the oneness of Allah. And if they ask for help, they will be granted. And if they ask for help, that is relief or water, they will be granted water like boiling oil that will scald their faces. Terrible is the drink, and an evil murtafak, that is dwelling or resting place. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا. Verily, as for those who believed and did righteous deeds, certainly we shall not make the reward of anyone who does his righteous deeds in the most perfect manner to be lost. أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يهلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس وإستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا. These for them will be paradise wherein rivers flow underneath them. Therein they will be adorned with bracelets of gold, and they will wear green garments of fine and thick silk. They will recline therein on raised thrones. How good is the reward, and what an excellent murtafaq, dwelling, resting place. واضرب لهم مثلا رجلين جعلنا لأحدهما جنتين من أعناب وحففناهما بنخل وجعلنا بينهما زرعا. And put forward to them the example of two men. To one of them we had given 2 gardens of grapes, and we had surrounded both with date palms and had put between them green crops, cultivated fields. كلتا الجنتين آتت أكلها ولم تظلم منه شيئا وفجرنا خلالهما نهرا. Each of those 2 gardens brought forth its produce and failed not in the least therein, and we caused a river to gush forth in the midst of them. وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا. And he had property or fruit, and he said to his companion in the course of mutual talk, I am more than you in wealth and stronger in respect of men. ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أظن أن تبيد هذه أبدا. And he went into his garden while in a state of pride and disbelief, unjust to himself. He said, I think not that this will ever perish. وما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا. And I think not the hour will ever come, and if indeed I am brought back to my Lord on the day of resurrection, I surely shall find better than this when I return to him. قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلق من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا. His companion said to him during the talk with him, do you disbelieve in him who created you out of dust, that is, created your father Adam, then out of nutfa, mixed drops of male and female, then fashioned you into a man? لكنه والله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا. But as for my part, I believe that he is Allah, my Lord, and none shall I associate as partner with my Lord. ولولا إذ دخلت جنتك قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا. It was better for you to say when you entered your garden that that which Allah wills will come to pass. There is no power but with Allah. If you see me less than you in wealth and children, فعسى ربي أن يعطيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح سعيدا زلقا. It may be that my Lord will give me something better than your garden and will send on it husban, torment or bolt from the sky, then it will be as a barren, slippery earth. أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلا تستطيع له طلبا. Or the water thereof of the gardens becomes deep sunken, so that you will never be able to seek it. وأحيطت بثمره وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا. So his fruits were encircled with ruin, and he remained clapping his hands with sorrow over what he had spent upon it, while it was all destroyed on its trellises, and he could only say, "Would that I had ascribed no partners to my Lord." وَلَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُ فِئَةٌ يَنْصُرُونَهُ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ وَمَا كَانَ مُنْتَصِرًا. And he had no group of men to help him against Allah, nor could he defend himself. هنالك الولاية لله الحق هو خير ثوابا وخير عقبا. There on the day of resurrection will be for Allah alone, the true God. Allah is the best for reward and the best for the final end. La ilaha illallah, none has the right to be worshipped to Allah. واضرب لهم مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء إن أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض فأصبح هشيما تزروح الرياح وكان الله على كل شيء مقتدرا. And put forward to them the example of the life of this world. It is like the water or rain which we send down from the sky, and the vegetation of the earth mingles with it and becomes fresh and green. But later it becomes dry and broken pieces which the winds scatter, and Allah is able to do everything. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقْتَدِرًا. المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير أملا. Wealth and children are the adornment of life of this world, but the good righteous deeds that last are better with your Lord for rewards and better in respect of hope. ويوم نسجر الجبال وترى الأرض بارزة وحشرناهم فلم نغادر منهم أحدا. And remember the day we shall cause the mountains to pass away like clouds of dust, and you will see the earth as a leveled plain, and we shall gather them all together so as to leave not one of them behind. وعرضوا على ربك صفا لقد جئتمون كما خلقناكم أول مرة بل زعمتم أن لن نجعل لكم موعدا. And they will be set before your Lord in lines as rows, and Allah will say, now indeed you have come to us as we created you the first time. Nay, but you thought that we had appointed no meeting for you, that is us. وَوُضِعَ الْكِتَابُ فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ وَيَقُولُونَ يَا وَيْلَتَنَا مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرَةً وَلَا كَبِيرَةً إِلَّا أَحْصَاهَا وَوَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. And the book, once record, will be placed in the right hand for a believer in the oneness of Allah, and in the left hand for a disbeliever in the oneness of Allah. And you will see the mujrimun, that is criminals, fearful of that which is recorded therein. They will say, vow to us, what sort of book is that? That leaves nothing, a small thing nor a big thing, but has recorded it with numbers, and they will find all that they did placed before them, and your Lord treats no one with injustice. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ كَانَ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَفَسَقَ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهِ أَفَتَتَّخِذُونَهُ وَذُرِّيَّتَهُ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِنْ دُونِي وَهُمْ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ بِئْسَ لِلظَّالِمِينَ بَدَلًا. And remember when we said to the angels, prostrate yourselves to Adam. So they prostrated themselves except Iblis, the shaitan. He was one of the jinn. He disobeyed the command of his Lord. Will you then take him, Iblis, and his offspring as protectors and helpers rather than me, while they are enemies to you? What an evil is in exchange for the Zalimun. ما أشهدتهم خلق السماوات والأرض ولا خلق أنفسهم وما كنت متخذ المضلين عضدا. Allah made them, that is Iblis and his offspring, not to witness nor took their help in the creation of the heavens and earth, and not even their own creation. Nor was I, that is Allah, to take the misleaders as helpers. ورأى المجرمون النار فظنوا أنهم مواقعوها ولم يجدوا عنها مصرفا. And the criminals, polytheists, sinners, shall see the fire and apprehend that they have to fall therein, and they will find no way of escape from there. وَلَقَدْ صَرَّفْنَا فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ لِلنَّاسِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. And indeed, we have put forth every kind of example in this Quran for mankind, but man is ever more quarrelsome than anything. وَمَا مَنَعَ النَّاسَ أَن يُؤْمِنُوا إِذْ جَاءَهُمُ الْهُدَى وَيَسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَّا أَن تَأْتِيَهُمْ سُنَّةُ الْأَوَّلِينَ أَوْ يَأْتِيَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ قُبُلًا. And nothing prevents men from believing now when the guidance the Quran has come to them and from asking forgiveness of their Lord, except that the ways of the ancients be repeated with them, that is, their destruction decreed by Allah, or the torment be brought to them face to face. وَمَا نُرْسِلُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ إِلَّا مُبَشِّرِينَ وَمُنذِرِينَ وَيُجَادِلُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِالْبَاطِلِ لِيُدْحِضُوا بِهِ الْحَقَّ وَاتَّخَذُوا آيَاتِي وَمَا أُنذِرُوا هُزُوًا. And we send not the messengers except as givers of glad tidings and warners. But those who disbelieve dispute with false argument in order to refute the truth thereby, and they treat my ayat, that is proofs, evidences, and verses, and that with which they are warned as a jest and mockery. وَمَنْ أَسْلَمُ مِمَّنْ ذُكِّرَ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِ فأعرض عنها ونسي ما قدمت يداه إنا جعلنا على قلوبهم أكنة أن يفقهوه وفي آذانهم وقرا وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى فلن يهتدوا إذا أبدا. And who does more wrong than he who is reminded of the ayat of his Lord but turns away from them, forgetting what his hands have sent forth? Truly we have set veils over their hearts lest they should understand this, and in their ears deafness. And if you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, call them to guidance, even then they will never be guided. وَرَبُّكَ الْغَفُورُ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ لو يؤاخذهم بما كسبوا لعجل لهم العذاب بل لهم موعد لن يجدوا من دونه موئلا. And your Lord is most forgiving, owner of mercy. Were he to call them and call them to account for what they have earned, then surely he would have hastened their punishment, but they have their appointed time, beyond which they will find no escape. وتلك القرى أهلكناهم لما ظلموا وجعلنا لمهلكهم موعدا. And these towns, population, Ad and Samud, we destroyed them when they did wrong, and we appointed a fixed time for their destruction. وإذ قال موسى لفتاه لا أبره حتى أبلغ مجمع البحرين أو أمضي حقبا. And remember when Musa said to his boy servant, I will not give up traveling until I reach the junction of the two seas, or until I spend years and years in traveling. فلما بلغ مجمع بينهما نسي حوتهما فاتخذ سبيله في البحر سربا. But when they reached the junction of the two seas, they forgot their fish, and it took its way through the sea as in a tunnel. فلما جاوز قال لفتاه آتنا غداءنا لقد لقينا من سفرنا هذا نسبا. So when they had passed further on beyond that fixed place, Musa said to his servant, bring us our morning meal. Truly we have suffered much fatigue in this our journey. قال أريت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت وما أنسانيه إلا الشيطان أن أذكره واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. He said, do you remember when we betook ourselves to the rock? I indeed forgot the fish. None but Shaitan made me forget to remember it. It took its course into the sea in a strange way. قال ذلك ما كنا نبغي فارتد على آثارهما قصصا. Musa said, "That is what we have been seeking." So they went back, retracing their footsteps. فوجد عبدا من عبادنا آتيناه رحمة من عندنا وعلمناه من لدنا علما. Then they found one of our slaves on whom we had bestowed mercy from us and whom we had taught knowledge from us. قال له موسى هل أتبعك على أن تعلمني مما علمت رشدا. Musa alayhi salam said to him, Al-Khizr, may I follow you so that you teach me something of that knowledge, guidance and true path which you have been taught by Allah? قال إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. Hazrat Khizr said, verily you will not be able to have patience with me. وكيف تصبر على ما لم تحط به خبرا. And how can you have patience about a thing which you know not? قال ستجدني إن شاء الله صابرا ولا أعصي لك أمرا. Musa said, if Allah wills, you will find me patient and I will not disobey you in aught. قال فإن اتبعتني فلا تسألني عن شيء حتى أحدث لك منه ذكرا. Hazrat Khizr said, then if you follow me, ask me not about anything till I myself mention of it to you. فانطلقا حتى إذا ركبا في السفينة خرقها قال خرقتها لتغرق أهلها لقد جئت شيئا إمرا. So they both proceeded till when they embarked the ship, Hazrat Khizr scuttled it, and Hazrat Musa said, have you scuttled it in order to drown its people? Verily you have committed a thing. Imra, that is an evil thing, a bad and dreadful thing you have done. قال ألم أقل إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. Hazrat Khizr said, did I not tell you that you would not be able to have patience with me? قال لا تؤاخذني بما نسيت ولا ترهقني من أمري عسرا. Hazrat Musa said, call not to account for what I forgot and be not hard upon me for my affair with you. فانطلق حتى إذا لقي غلاما فقتله قال قتلت نفسا زكية بغير نفس لقد جئت شيئا نكرا. Then they both proceeded till they met a boy and Hazrat Khizr killed him. Hazrat Musa said, have you killed an innocent person who had killed none? Verily you have committed a thing nukra, that is, you have done a prohibited, evil, dreadful thing. قال ألم أقل لك إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. Hazrat Khizr said, did I not tell you that you can have no patience with me? قال إن سألتك عن شيء بعدها فلا تصاحبني قد بلغت من لدني عذرا. Hazrat Musa said, if I ask you anything after this, keep me not in your company. You have received an excuse from me. فانطلقا حتى إذا أتيا أهل قرية استطعما أهلها فأبوا أن يضيفهما فوجد فيها جدارا يريد أن ينقض فأقامه قال لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا. Then they both proceeded till when they came to the people of a town, they asked them for food, but they refused to entertain them. Then they found there in a wall about to collapse, and Hazrat Khizr set it up straight. Hazrat Musa said, if you had wished, surely you could have taken wages for it. قال هذا فراق بيني وبينك سأنبئك بتأويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا. Hazrat Khizr said, this is the parting between me and you. I will tell you the interpretation of those things over which you were unable to hold patience. أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر فأردت أن أعيبها وكان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا. As for the ship, it belonged to Masakin, the needy people working in the sea, so I wished to make a defective damage in it, as there was a king behind them who seized every ship by force. وأما الغلام فكان أبواه مؤمنين فخشينا أن يرهقهما طغيانا وكفرا. And as for the boy, his parents were believers, and we feared lest he should oppress them by rebellion and disbelief. فأردنا أن يبدلهما ربهما خيرا منه زكاة وأقرب رحما. So we intended that their Lord should change him for them for one better in righteousness and nearer to mercy. وأما الجدار فكان لغلامين يتيمين في المدينة وكان تحته كنز لهما وكان أبوهما صالحا فأراد ربك أن يبلغا أشدهما ويستخرج كنزهما رحمة من ربك وما فعلته عن أمري ذلك تعويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا. And as for the wall, it belonged to two orphan boys in the town, and there was under it a treasure belonging to them. And their father was a righteous man, and your Lord intended that they should attain their age of full strength and take out their treasure as a mercy from your Lord. And I did them not of my own accord. That is the interpretation of those things over which you could not hold patience. ويسألونك عن ذي القرنين قل سأتلو عليكم منه ذكرا. And they ask you about Zulkarnain. Say, I shall recite to you something of his story. إنا مكنا له في الأرض وآتيناه من كل شيء سببا. Verily we established him in the earth and we gave him the means of everything. فَأَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. So he followed away. حتى إذا بلغ مغرب الشمس وجدها تغرب في عين حمية ووجد عندها قوما قلنا يا ذا القرنين إما أن تعذب وإما أن تتخذ فيهم حسنا. Until when he reached the setting place of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of black, muddy, hot water, and he found near it a people. We said, that is, Allah said by inspiration, O Zulkarnain, either you punish them or treat them with kindness. قال أما من ظلم فسوف نعذبه ثم يرد إلى ربه فيعذبه عذابا نكرا. He said, as for him, a disbeliever in the oneness of Allah who does wrong, we shall punish him, and then he will be brought back to his Lord, who will punish him with a terrible torment, that is hell. وَأَمَّا مَنْ آمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا فَلَهُ جَزَاء الْحُسْنَى فَسَنَقُولُ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِنَا يُسْرًا. But as for him who believes in Allah's oneness and works righteousness, he shall have the best reward, paradise, and we, Zulkarnain, shall speak to him mild words as instructions. ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. Then he followed another way. حتى إذا بلغ بين السدين وجد من دونهما قوما حتى إذا بلغ بين السدين وجد من دونهما قوما لا يكادون يفقهون قولا. كذلك وقد أهتنا بما لديه خبرا ثم أتبع سببا حتى إذا بلغ بين السدين وجد من دونهما قوما لا يكادون يفقهون قولا. So it was, and we knew. So then he followed another way, until when he came to the rising place of the sun, he found it rising on a people for whom we had provided no shelter against the sun. So it was, and we knew all about him, Zulkarnain. Then he followed another way, until when he reached between the two mountains, he found before them, those two mountains, a people who scarcely understood a word. قالوا يا ذا القرنين إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض فهل نجعل لك خرجا على أن تجعل بيننا وبينهم سدا. They said, O Zulkarnain, verily Yajuj and Majuj are doing great mischief in the land. Shall we then pay you a tribute in order that you might erect a barrier between us and them? قال ما مكني فيه ربي خير فأعينوني بقوة أجعل بينكم وبينهم ردما. He said, that wealth, authority, and power in which my Lord had established me is better than your tribute. So help me with strength of men, I will erect between you and them a barrier. آتوني آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوى بين السدفين قال انفخوا حتى إذا جعله نارا قال آتوني يفرغ عليه قطرا. Give me pieces of blocks of iron. Then, when he had filled up the gap between the two mountain cliffs, he said, Blow. Then, when he had made them red as fire, he said, Bring me molten copper to pour over them. فما استطاعوا أن يظهروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا. So, the Yajuj and Majuj could not scale it or dig through it. فما استطاعوا أن يظهروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا. So, they could not scale it or dig through it. قال هذا رحمة من ربي فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكا وكان وعد ربي حقا. Zulkarnain said, This is a mercy from my Lord. But when the promise of my Lord comes, he shall level it down to the ground. And the promise of my Lord is ever true. Sadaqallahul Azim.